Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find intelligent species, ritual extirpation, undesirable odors from another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past has repeated itself?
Watch them and pray.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, those of you still trying to figure out who Messi is, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I'm your host, Tasker, and we have Nick.
I have two things to say.
Okay.
The first off is nobody gives a fuck who Messi is. All right, this is America. The last time I checked, we don't watch soccer. Okay.
Okay.
Or football. If the rest of the world wants to call it football, for some reason, you don't even play with your feet. All right. If you want to call it football, go for it. All right. But nobody cares who Messi is. No, you know, the only person in soccer I've ever cared about is David Beckham, and it's because he's a hunk.
He is quite a hunk, and Messi is, in fact, a very famous soccer player that, you know, appropriately as an American, I don't know a whole lot about him. In fact, the only thing I do know about him was back when I used to work in a dish room. That was this one guy who hated the job, would just shout Messi, and just to annoy everybody outside of the dish room. That's the only reason I know who Messi is.
That's great. That's a good way to know, and it's some clever guy in the dish room. I like it.
Yep. You gotta. There's a lot of culture in there.
I don't even know what country he is from.
Is he from Barcelona? I know that's the team that he got like off of. I don't even know what any of that shit means. No. But I just saw it and thought it'd be funny to bring it up.
I don't even watch exciting sports. What makes anybody think I would watch a sport where a good game is like 2-1 at the end? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think soccer is really fun. It's the tensity and the fact that the buildup, that when a goal does happen, it's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Go!
Yeah. Why do you think they're yelling like that? Because it's crazy fun. Like, dude, you see, the thing is, you're not watching soccer correctly. You gotta sit down. You gotta get a big old fucking crate of beer or go to a bar, get some food in front of you, get some homies, and just start drinking. And trust me, it's really easy to get into the spirit that way.
I'll try it one day. I know I give it a hard time. It's because I think it's because I was forced to play it as a child and I hated it. I fucking always made me the goalie because I was the fat kid, you know?
Oh no, because you had the mask to block it.
I looked like Snorlax, like blocking the path in that one part of the game, you know?
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's a deep-rooted thing. I don't know. But
yeah,
look,
they always.
What?
I was gonna say they always made me play midfield, which means you have to, which is my least favorite because I fucking hate running, and I hated playing it because I had to run in defense and offense and stuff like that. But the only reason they kept playing because I was always on losing teams, so finally I just started playing because I was like, well, I'm here. I mean, it's just boring just fucking around. So I guess I'll just play the game. And they're like, oh, he cares. Put him in mid. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, see, that's what happens when you try.
Yep, exactly. That's the lesson. Never try it. Or do what I do is you go in, you do worse on purpose to set the bar low. So then progressively you just start getting more to what you normally would do. And you don't even waste any effort. Easy.
Yeah, and then you get an applause every time you do something competent.
It's fucking great, man. And that's why I'm unemployed.
Yeah, same. Or I will be in a week.
Yeah.
So I do have something else I need to get off my chest. Tasker brought something to my attention last night. And I will start this off with a song. In the arms of the angels, fly away from me. Yeah. Trevor Moore, dude.
Yeah, dude. We lost a good one on that one, dude. Trevor Moore is one of the funniest motherfuckers out there. The great comedian, the guy one of the co-founders of Whitest Kids You Know. I quoted his shit like all through high school. Like my favorite one of his was did you know it's illegal to say, I want to kill the president of the United States of America. Fucking love it. It just happened so suddenly. They said it was just an accident, right?
Yeah. And as far as I know, and I think as far as you know too, because I checked with you, they didn't give us exactly what kind of accident it was, but he was only 41, man.
Yeah, it sucks. And it's hard. I mean, I feel like it's a huge tragedy, of course, but I can't help but bring up the fact that he has a skit about a kid's mom dying in a car accident in like one of their most popular videos. So I was like, if it ends up being a car, it's like, the dramatic irony is not lost on me.
Yeah, that's how he would have wanted it, I'm sure. But look, when I think I was like early high school, maybe late middle school. It's at a time when my parents probably didn't want me watching this shit.
Yeah.
I used to stay up late, eat ice cream, and watch Whitest Kids You Know on IFC all the time. And those were some fond memories. I would say some of my comedy has been influenced by their edgy sketches and their dumb sketches. And you know how it is, man. And so it's really sad to see a guy like Trevor go so early. So,
and that's a good point. Like he actually, you know, we're giving him this big little spotlight here because he was really a big influence on the both of us. And I think a lot of like kind of our show's humor, like there is definitely a good like little sprinkle of Trevor Moore in there. So we just want to salute him and his family, you know, and just, you know, give him the respect that he's due, you know, for what he's contributed.
That's right. That's right. And my all-time favorite sketch will always be the Hitler rap that he did. I haven't memorized word for word, unfortunately. So, you know, Trevor, if you're listening, later on tonight, I'll rap it for you, buddy.
Fuck yeah. I'm going to rewatch the one he did by himself. The president rap where it's like Abe Lincoln's like a Snoop Dogg stoner and like Washington's just like a thug and like, man.
So good.
Geez. So rest in peace, my man.
Rest in peace. But on, you know, on a look, let's get that mushy, sad shit out of the way. And today's episode, I know we still got to do horoscopes, but I just want to say up top, today's episode is going to be a fun one because frankly, I'm personally insulted by some of these.
Oh yeah. I almost feel like, cause I was the one who suggested doing this episode. And the more I thought about it, as you worked on the outline, I was like, that was kind of a fucked up power play of me of like, hey, research disproven hoaxes that you love, and then we're going to talk about it. So in a sense, I'm forcing Nick to deal with these are hoaxes that have been proven false.
Yeah. And allegedly, right? And there's going to be a lot. You're going to hear that. Okay, I wrote the outline.
Yeah,
you're going to hear the word allegedly a lot today, okay? Because we are dealing with hoaxes of some things that are near and dear to my heart, some things that are also near and dear to some of our listeners' hearts, and I will be defending some of them tooth and nail.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is some might think, well, like Tasker, why aren't you the one researching it? You're the skeptic here. Why did Nick do all the work? Purely because I am just so fucking excited to see the fucking mental gymnastics Nick is going to pull off to try to explain how all these very much proven false hoaxes was a hoax.
I will lay out each hoax as the hoax specifies, but I will be fighting it. I will be talking about my own interpretation of what's going on for most of these. And if you have a problem with it, Tasker, you can suck my dick.
Yeah, I'm just saying, all of these they're all fake. These are all, and you know me, I'm always saying shit's fake, but these are all actually fake. Like none of these, like these are all for the most part proven to be not real. Did you hear that fart?
No. Did you shit yourself on recording?
Not yet. No, it was a dry one. It was a dry one. So
okay.
Now that would be legendary. That's something I think we might be able to pass the 500 listen mark on.
I mean, at that point, you and I are going to start wearing Depends and just kind of like we'll do like 4-hour episodes and we'll just like defecate ourselves. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of coffee we drink, that's not too far off. We'll just both have way. Oh, you'd be like a fucking horrible way to do that is go to like Buffalo Wild Wings the night before and get like all spicy, you know, like how we used to, and just, you know, wear the Depends and just drink like 3 cups of coffee and then just start recording.
Dude, I don't know, man. I would love to ship myself for our listeners so they could, but I don't know, like if they want that. I don't know if I want to sit in it, you know, like because you're not thinking about the logistics, like you're thinking about the comedy, which is funny, right? But then also, buddy, you have to remember it only stays warm for so long, and at a certain point, you and I are going to be sitting in cold shit.
Well, it's also cold shit ridden with capsaicin from the wings from before. So it's going to start burning real hard. And knowing us, it would be like the blazing, like, what is it? Like Carolina Reaper now?
Yeah.
And we've been through that ringer before. And dude, it's like your butthole becomes a ring of fire.
It at that point, the mornings after the Blazin' challenge or we eat even regular Blazin', you know, my butt looks like a portal to oblivion. Okay.
It looks like the One Ring being forged.
Yes. Yeah. It's red, orange, yellow, and kind of on fire.
God, that shit, it hurts so bad, dude. I'm very glad we stopped doing that. It was fun for a time, though.
We've proven ourselves. We don't have to do it anymore, man. We can just eat Serrano. We could eat like lighter. We could eat jalapeno. We could do all this stuff now because we don't have to eat fucking Carolina Reaper sauces. We don't have to eat ghost pepper sauces anymore.
We've already done it. It's like us in IPAs. Don't get me wrong. I like a good IPA still, but we drank nothing but IPA purely out of spite and to like go to parties and just be like, everyone's like, oh, like, here, do you want like a Sam Adams? Oh, here, do you want like a Blue Moon? We pull out like fucking like the most like
the DBA.
Salt. Yeah.
We used to drink a bunch of DBA, the double barrel, like fucking
shipwreck fucking mission, like 14% alcohol, barely even beer, like
fucking gross. All right, so horoscope time. Do you want to go first, and then I'll follow up after?
Yeah, let's see what we got. Of course, horoscopes, best way to get the vibe of our show before the episode gets into the nitty and the gritty. So, on my end, issues regarding love and romance are likely to improve quite a bit over the next couple weeks, Scorpio. The thing to be most concerned about today, however, is that you may take an unrealistic approach to current relationships. You might be in a dream world in which you perceive the situation to be quite different from what it actually is. Be careful of this tendency.
Fuck, man. What's going on? What's going on behind the scenes?
Nothing too crazy. I feel like
well, look, man, as your best friend, if I saw something that you were blind to, I would let you know.
Oh yeah. I have faith that you would, and probably in a very like blunt, inappropriate, and possibly illegal way.
Look, man, I don't know how to tell you this. You're going bald, okay?
God damn it. And Nick was fully nude and erect while he said it too. Because he knew that's what would make me listen. Oh boy. Anyway, so stars, sex is a 3 out of 5. My hustle's a 4 out of 5. My vibe is a 2 out of 5. Success is a 4 out of 5.
Damn.
Yeah, not bad today.
Hey, but that's pretty good. Look, before I get into my horoscopes, I want to do an impression real quick.
Okay.
From Revenge of the Sith. Check this out. Ready?
Okay.
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
I like the prop. That's a very realistically built lightsaber that you bought 3 years ago for like what, $200?
Yeah, it was like $250, $300, something like that.
Yeah, that one, it was. I think I gave you a pass. Okay, so one thing you need to know about me and Nick is I feel like I constantly like am Nick's unofficial consultant, financial consultant.
Yeah,
and it's not even, Nick didn't even ask me to. I just do it because I just, I'm a bit of a penny pincher, So when Nick buys something like, I don't know, like a Gibson guitar and doesn't use it, it gets me a little grinds my gills a little bit.
Well, I have issues, right? I have spending issues, but I've been better about it. But in my defense, why would they make credit cards if you're not supposed to just buy everything you want? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I don't have to pay it back at any point.
Well, that's how they get you. That's the whole point. That's the lie that they sell us. And as they say, when the world around you seems insane and crazy, it's not the fact that it never was before. You're just now opening your eyes to it's been crazy all along.
That's the life we live in, and that's why I buy the shit I want. Except I've been better about it.
Yep. Oh no, you definitely been a lot more like conservative. Is that a right word for it?
Yeah, and I canceled my WoW subscription. Wow. And so I'm actually like cutting down a little bit.
That's for you. That's incredibly impressive. I know how much you like WoW, but also too, I wonder if there's a bit of an influence on what's been going on at Blizzard
because they're a bunch of rapists. Yeah, that might have to do with it. Maybe, you know what? Yeah, Nick may joke a lot on the podcast about different races and how ladies aren't smart and how oh wait, what? And then also like other shit, right? But I have morals. I cross the line somewhere, and I cross the line at when people go to work and they can't feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah, because work fucking sucks already. Like, just way to add like another layer to it, and it's like that might be something that Blizzard HR needs to kind of work on. And it sounds like they are. I'm hoping they're cleaning house and these fuckers get what they deserve.
Yeah, that's right, man. Don't worry. They'll hire me and I'll go sexually harass them. So.
Oh, good job, man.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna like. No. I'm not saying they're gonna hire me at Blizzard and I'll just take their place like some weird Kylo Ren thing, right? No. Like I'm gonna finish what you started. You know, it's not gonna be like that. No, I mean like. No. I meant like. I'll be hired by a third party to sexually harass the sexual harassers.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the power.
Oh, God. Oh, I did not wake up ready for that. Holy fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
All right, so my turn for horoscopes. Let's move past that horrible conversation.
Yes.
I don't want to be known as the Kylo Ren of sexual harassment. That's not what I want.
Not something you can necessarily put on a resume, depending on where you're applying to.
Yeah. Oh, boy. All right. So you may be in quite the party mode today, Cancer. Be open and social with the people around you. Take off on a wild adventure that quenches your thirst for spontaneity and fun. Stay up late and talk to a friend you haven't seen for a while. The time to live is now. Make the most of every moment of your life.
I think we're doing that right now.
Yes, we are. I'm planning my descent into madness.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna try to keep it together. Okay, I'm good. I'm still laughing about this. I'm gonna finish what you started.
I know what I have to do. But I don't know if I have the strength.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
Stars, not too bad today. Sex is a 3 out of 5. Hustle is a 4 out of 5. Vibe is a 4 out of 5. And success is a 3 out of 5. Pretty good.
Yeah. Good. Even spread throughout the board, it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel pretty good today, I'd say. So fuck it.
Yeah. And with that being said, I feel like 20-minute intro, a bit of a longer one, but hey, it is what it is. We got to get into it.
Let's get into it, guys. So you saw the title. You heard our little spiel earlier. We are doing hoaxes today. We're covering a plethora of hoaxes, alleged hoaxes.
Alleged, huh?
And I have alleged right here in the outline in caps.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me pull something up real quick. When it comes to, terminology, it's always good to have a definition of what a hoax is. So a hoax, by definition, is a noun, an act intended to trick or dupe, something accepted or established by fraud or fabrication, or to trick into believing or accepting as genuine something false and often preposterous. So it's in the definition that if it is a hoax, it is based on lies.
But what if the hoax itself is a hoax to be fraudulent towards the actual truth? Like, now, to cover it up.
Now that's some flim and snake oil logic. Like I said, the mental gymnastics here, it's like you're already on the fucking springboard, like doing flips.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready to, because like I told you, I feel personally attacked by most of the shit in this episode.
I feel like you would have been in the Olympics for just all the mental gymnast.
So, for the hoaxes that we're going to cover today, it's going to be kind of like I said, it's a plethora. We have a big mix of different types. We have occult, paranormal, cryptids, all kinds of shit. I even threw an internet one in there for you guys to mark a historic day or a historic period in early internet history.
Oh yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of shit to look forward to today. I hope most of you are as frustrated already as I am, even though we haven't even gotten into this, right? Tasker, How are you feeling? Are you ready to fight tooth and nail for these?
I'm excited because some of these are going to be pretty upsetting for some of you, I think. For a lot of big followers, some of these ain't just small potatoes. Like there's some big hot takes in this one. So
there's a couple in here that are kind of fucked. All right, that in my personal opinion.
I'm ready, man. I'm excited to see what we're going to come up with.
All right, well, guys, without further delay. First off, grab your weather balloons, put them up in the air so people can blame weather balloons for UFOs. Put some big wooden logs into the water, right? And take pictures of them at the lock. And then also, I want you guys to surgically put parts of existing animals together to make it look like a new animal, because we're diving right into this shit.
Let's do it. Taxidermy and all.
Also, just so you know, all right, and because Tasker and I are somewhat on the autism spectrum, we will be listing these hoaxes in alphabetical order. It's pleasing to the ear and to the mind. So if you guys notice a pattern, we're not doing it in categories of like paranormal and then occult and then this. No, we're doing it alphabetically, all right? Because that's how I feel most comfortable doing it.
Yeah, awful transition here, but I think I'm on like part 10 of the Chris Chan series, and it's that episode where I mean, I haven't gotten into it because it's the one that has like the warning in the beforehand, because it's where the kid like, you know, opens up about being like a 13-year-old who's been fucking with them. Like we kind of discussed. I mean, ever since last episode, I've seen and learned a lot more about Chris Chan, and there are no heroes in this story, man. Everybody's fucking terrible. He is, his parents are, the people tormenting, because they're basically just a bunch of kids tormenting an autistic kid. Like, it's just nobody's good. It's a fucking, it is a sad story of a den of villains.
Dude, I love that series. I finished it a couple days ago. My rewatch, and I did the math, and I think it was like technically 3 days, like 3 or 4 days straight of just
good God,
YouTube.
Chris Chan. Yeah, it's sort of the fact that everyone in it's just so despicable is sort of like the only thing that makes it watchable. Because boy, if like Chris Chan was like, you know, a good guy, oh man, this would just be cyberbullying and just cringy. But since he's like kind of a dipshit in that, we don't need to get too much into it. Just wanted to give you my update. Let's get into the episode.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Anyway, so the first hoax that we will be talking about is the infamous alien autopsy video. Okay. Now, for those of you out there interested in aliens and UFOs, I would be surprised. Nay, I would be disappointed in you if you have not at least seen clips of this film. Okay. If you look it up, alien autopsy on YouTube, you can find the video. You can find clips of the video. It's in black and white, and it's a 17-minute long video of what appears to be an actual alien autopsy of a gray alien who died in the famous Roswell, New Mexico crash in 1947.
Hoax though, huh?
Allegedly.
All right, what do you got for us?
So in 1985, okay, it was released to the public by a man named Ray Santilli. Now, he claimed that the film was authentic, and it was a leak of government footage of that fateful day in New Mexico during the Roswell crash. The first question we have to ask ourselves is, how did Ray obtain the footage? Well, he claimed to have received it from a retired military cameraman who wished to remain anonymous through all of this because, of course, if they found out that he leaked it, they would probably off him.
Yep.
Now, where does the hoax come in? In 2006, Ray came out saying that the 17-minute long film he released was not a real autopsy.
Really? So not a real autopsy, but that's the only information he gave.
Right. He said that it was a reproduction. Now, here's the interesting part, okay? This is why I say allegedly for this one in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Ray did say that the film that he created and released was a recreation of an actual alien autopsy film from the government that he had a chance to watch in 1992. So it was basically like a recreation of a real one that exists somewhere out there.
Huh. Well, why would they recreate it?
So I don't know, man. Look, look, buddy.
It just seems sort of redundant. It just seems like a waste of time and money. Let's hire a guy to make a fake alien so we can just sort of, get relive it. Like that seems a little like questionable.
I think that maybe he did it because he wants us to be prepared for if there's a time in the future where we see something real like this. Because he probably saw it and it blew his fucking mind. Like he probably doesn't even understand reality anymore. And I think this also because he said in this recreation that he released, he actually was able to obtain a couple frames of the actual film, and he spliced those frames into his movie.
So did he make the recreation or the government did?
He made the recreation of an actual autopsy filmed by the government that he saw.
I see. So the video that we see he made it. But he's saying that he made it because that's sort of what happened in the government one, and that was like the best he could do.
Yes, I think he was trying to get it out to the public to see what he thought it would look like his interpretation of the video he saw.
And also too, like you said, if he put out the real one, he'd be fucking off and before he could even press send.
Exactly. And I think that's why he only put a couple frames in. He was able to get frames, put a couple of them in his fake film. So at least a little bit of the truth is out there. So that's why I said allegedly. Yes, the film that is available on YouTube and shit is fake technically, but it's based off of a real, actual alien autopsy film from 1947.
Okay, I'll give this one a hard squint and a bit of a maybe.
Okay, but look, I'm telling you guys, either way, even if you know that this particular video was fake, watch it still because it's cool.
Yeah, I was just watching clips of it while you were talking about it. It is kind of cool looking, and it would be like, that'd be pretty whack to actually be there for something like that.
Yeah, and imagine seeing the actual video like this dude did. He probably, like I told you, he probably doesn't even think that we live in a third dimension anymore, because once you see some shit like that, your problems don't matter anymore on Earth.
Yeah, he's a little shook. And I mean, I've been hearing a lot of what do you call it? Not controversy, but a lot of blowback for good old Jeffrey Bezos, who went off into space, and his first instinct was, let's pollute it and clean up the Earth by throwing all of our bullshit into space. And it's like, most people, when they look down on Earth, they realize how small and insignificant they are. And fucking a lot of people are just saying, like, man, that just shows how small of a fucking man Bezos is. Like, what a fucking, shrinky dink diphead. Wow, yeah. That's the worst insult I've ever come up with.
Shrinky dink, you jerk.
You meanie nerd.
You lit liquor.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
All right, next hoax, one I'm excited to talk about and one that I have some strong feelings about, Amityville Horror.
Yeah, this is one of the big reasons why we wanted to do this episode, because it's a hoax. Amityville Horror was a fucking hoax, my friends.
Oh, allegedly.
Yeah. No, it was made to sell the book.
Okay. Before we get into the argument portion of this section, okay? Mm-hmm. If you're listening to this podcast, I shouldn't really have to explain what the Amityville Horror is and what it's based off of, okay? But for those of you who are still in the runnings of the most disappointed that Nick's ever been in anybody, I will give a brief explanation, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, let's get into our time machines and travel back to November of 1974, the 13th to be exact.
Is that a Friday?
I don't know. Is there a way for us to look up, old dates and find out?
Let's see. It's November 13th, 1974. It was not. It was, in fact, a Wednesday.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, it was a Wednesday, all right? It was just a typical, it was hump day. Everybody's trying to get through their work week,
Yeah.
Now, on this day, there is a house at 112 Ocean Avenue. There's a place called Ocean Avenue.
Nice.
In Amityville, which is in Long Island, New York. Mm-hmm. Now, on that night and in that house, there was a fella who some of you might have heard of named Ronald DeFeo Jr., okay? And Ronald decided to massacre his entire family of 6 in the middle of the night with a shotgun.
See, that's the worst fucking thing. Like, when a parent names their kid Junior, they're really hoping that they don't end up being a fucking family murdering, mass murderer. So I bet good old Senior, Ronald Senior, probably is like, God fucking shit.
Well, here's a question. If Senior's dead, is Ronald DeFeo no longer a junior?
No, because there was a senior before him that gave him that name. The fact that they're dead doesn't mean they stop being like your dad lineage wise.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Legally, I think it's just easier.
Then, okay, now this happened, right? There's a whole, you can watch YouTube videos. There's podcasts that have covered it thousands of times. You can, that's the actual true crime side of what happened in this house. Okay.
Yeah.
But literally a year and a month later, in December of 1975, a family moved into the same house. Okay. And they probably got a hell of a fucking deal on that house, I bet.
As they should.
Okay, if 6 people were brutally murdered, and a year later you're like, honey, this is speaking to me.
You're like, wow, it's just huge. Why is it so cheap? Ask about if there was murders.
Yeah, see if there use a UV light. I'm sure they didn't clean everything up. Find out for yourself.
yeah.
It's either semen or blood, and either way, you don't want that house.
Yep, check out the property.
Now, this family was George and Kathy Lutz and their 3 children. And they were the ones to move into this house, and they were lucky enough to experience the things that they experienced while there.
Allegedly.
Okay, sure. Now we can flip the okay.
Yep. I can use the word just as much as you can.
Okay, I'm getting fucking mad. The Lutz family, claimed to experience numerous paranormal activities, and that is where we get the book and the films about this house.
Right.
Now, as a rundown, here are some of the, but not all, of the paranormal experiences that the family claimed to have. George said that he woke up at 3:15 every night. And by the way, that is around the time said that Ronald killed his entire family.
Ugh, that's not because 3 a.m. is like the witching hour, right?
It is.
Yeah. So whenever cause I used to I've been sleeping so much fucking better lately, in case anyone was curious about that. But there was that time in my life where the stress was really getting to me and I was just waking up a lot. It was every night I would wake up, and fortunately it was a little bit more split up, but you could bet whenever I wake up and it's 2:55, I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit, here it comes. Or anytime during 3 a.m., whenever you wake up, you just feel that sense of nothing ever happened, but you feel that sense of dread, and so that's got to be spooky to have there actually be an event that happened at that time and to wake up that moment on the dot.
Yeah, see, that's not a good sign. Okay. And Tasker, just as a heads up, look, if that ever happens, if that keeps happening to you, all I'm going to say is if you wake up at 2:55, 3 in the morning, don't look out the window.
I don't. I keep my shit closed up. Even if I woke up at 4 a.m., I still keep my thing closed unless the sunlight's coming out.
All right. I'm just saying, don't. Even if you hear the voice calling you to open the window, don't open the window.
Skinwalker shit?
I don't think so, because you're in California, but it's probably a flesh gate or so. It's something ready to get you out there, buddy. And it's something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We already made the vagina jokes about the name Fleshgate, right?
No, I don't think we did. I think we missed that opportunity.
I'm disappointed in us.
Me too, because I didn't think about it because I'm autistic. I'm very literal, I don't know if I'm actually autistic, maybe. Anyway, so it's spelled flesh and then Gait, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So good job, Task. Or maybe you're more autistic because you thought of it. I don't know who's more autistic.
Yeah, the fact is, we could solve this answer with a simple test, but both of us are too scared for what we're going to figure out. Yeah. Just like how that's why we never do IQ tests, because it'll be 70. Shit.
I'm legally retarded.
Yeah. But hey, there's benefits, though, you can get and apply for.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. So there might actually be a perk to this. So that's so fucking defensive to autistic people. I'm sorry.
Whatever, man. Look, if they have the ability to find this podcast, good. Hey, first off, good job.
If you're still listening to us, you're probably used to it by now. We love you all the same, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you. You have to say it slow, Tasker. You have to say it slow for them.
Okay. 3:15, murder time. Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. George would always wake up at the time when the murders occurred. The family would often smell strange odors, and these were odors which they could not place a name to. They just something smelled off. It wasn't somebody left the stove on. It wasn't this or that. It was what the fuck is that? And it was only in certain parts of the house too.
That's creepy.
They also claimed to see a green ooze-like substance creep out of the walls on multiple occasions.
No, I feel like that's just a bad frame. I think the house is just badly built or not taken care of.
Like a mold or something?
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not a microbiologist, dude. I don't know what kind of molds there are out there.
Where is Amityville? Is it swamplands?
It's whatever Long Island is. Or whatever Long Island is.
Long Island, right? That's New York.
Yeah.
Densely populated. Oh, it's an island. So, this is the fucking name. I'm so stupid.
It's a Long Island, Tasker.
Yes, it is indeed a Long Island. So, maybe some sort of like, water-based like mold something.
I don't know, man. I feel like you're stretching. You're making stretches. You're trying to get this fucking hoax solidified.
Yeah. Okay. I'll admit it is a bit of a stretch. So we'll say it's gross and weird.
Gross and weird. I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
The family would also experience cold spots in certain parts of the house. And for those of you out there in the know, it is a classic haunting sign.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
The family once had a priest come to the house in order to cleanse it. And when the priest got to a particular bedroom, he heard a voice tell him to get out. And he also advised the family to never sleep in that room.
It's not great news.
That's not what you want to hear your vicar say,
Yeah.
So then there was an occurrence where Kathy, the mom, levitated in bed once. And there was also an occasion where two of their kids levitated in bed as well.
Now, that sounds fun up until you realize you don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, when you're not in control, that's not a good time. Like you're not making yourself fly, you're not astral projecting. No, you are in bed, unable to move, and a demonic force is lifting you out of your own bed.
Oh yeah, because what more vulnerable of a position can you be? Like you're not even touching the ground.
Yeah, especially with those slutty nightgowns that they used to wear in the 70s, like the moms.
Were they that slutty? I don't think they were that slutty.
Well, maybe not, but I bet you they weren't wearing underwear, so.
Oh yeah. See now it's just embarrassing because now all your business is revealed. You're floating in the air. Like whatever comes in is just like it doesn't matter. It could be a chimpanzee with a stick, and you're fucking dead.
Yeah. And just to be clear, actually, I was talking about the mom. I'm not talking about the kids. I don't care what they're wearing. I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I honestly though, I think the monkey was a bad example. I'd be afraid of that even with my feet firmly planted on the ground,
dude. A chimpanzee. I'm calling out all chimpanzees right now. If they're listening to this, come at me. See what happens, dude. I will beat you guys so weird.
Yep, they're fucking evil, man.
Fucking monkeys, man. Anyway, and probably the most famous, or I should say infamous, occurrence that happened at the house was a pig-like demon creature, which would often stare at one of their sons through the son's bedroom window at night. It's like his buddy.
Boy. Yeah, that's not fun. I mean, at least it wasn't doing anything, but still, that's a little that's hard to sleep. It's already hard to sleep with somebody just watching you, let alone a pig Ganon monster thing.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you got to play more Zelda.
Look, man, I don't like who makes it? Sega? I don't listen. I don't play that shit. All right. This is not 1989. I don't need to play these games anymore. Okay. I have real games.
Like
Star Wars: The Old Republic. Left 4 Dead. Cool games. Games that aren't called Ganondorf. You know what I mean?
Well, you'll be happy to know that Nintendo has been fallen out of favor for a lot of people because they have really just shitty business practices and they don't care about their fan base.
They don't.
Nope.
But I mean, I don't know much about it, but I'm just going to say they don't. So.
Okay, no, I appreciate it.
Well, it's because but because Nintendo was a Japanese company, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Japanese companies out there that make a lot of the stuff that we use.
Yeah, and here's the problem with the Japanese, man. They're super xenophobic. So, of course they're not going to make a good product because a bunch of sweaty, fat Americans are, wanting to, always crawling at them and pulling on them and be like, hey, make me some new games. Make me some... And they're like, oh, I don't want to make you such a new game.
That's a nice recreation of the PR meetings that they have at Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes down.
Good Lord. Well... That's a discussion for another day. Good God. So anyways, though, all this stuff that we brought up about, the hauntings, the pig demon, it's all made up, right?
Okay. So technically, allegedly, yes. Allegedly, all that stuff that the Lutz family said happened is supposed to be a hoax. Two main reasons why that's thought. One is because the family sold the rights of their experiences and then they tried to make some money off of like the book, which also turned into movies, right?
Right. Yeah.
And also, apparently, various owners after the Lutz family never once said they've experienced any paranormal activity.
Yeah, maybe they had like, and here's kind of if I'm gonna like give this God, I just can't think of the word right now, but if I'm gonna play ball here for a little bit, I might say that maybe Amityville, like the house, had some creepy things happening to it, but I feel like they saw some, like somebody was like, I see it like this. There was like a conversation that came up. It's like, oh, like people were murdered here. Did like a bunch of crazy shit happen? They're like, well, there's some parts of the house that are like kind of like cold and weird, and people were hanging on every word they were saying. So I think they kind of got caught up in the lore of it, and the story got so insane that when somebody was like, oh, like I want to write a book about this, like I want to, like, can you sell me the rights to the story? You can bet they fucking pulled all the stops out, and then the author who wanted to sell the book pushed it even further, and I think it was just this like, it mudslided to become the story that it is today.
Oh, well, Tasher, I'm glad that you said that. That's a great analysis, but I don't tend to victim blame, So I personally believe them that this happened, and I think that it's horrifying that people like you exist who are like making them look like fools for the things that they had to put up with in that spooky house.
I don't think it's victim blaming, because they weren't a victim of it. The murder victims, that's a different story. And
they had it coming. A Long Island family. Dude, it's just a bunch of Guidos that never got along, and then one of them just fucking snapped. All right. So yeah.
Right. All right. So you listener, take your pick on who you think is right on this one.
Whatever, man. Look, DeFeos, they maybe had it coming. I feel bad for the Lutz family, though, man. They put up with a lot of scary shit, all right? And they had little kids, man. They had little kids being lifted up out of their beds and pig demons looking at them on the fucking,
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I think it's all exaggerated. I think they saw money bags, and I think it's a pretty, like, if anybody does any research into it, you'll find that it's a pretty like clear that like it did not happen, at least not even close to how it's described in the book.
Hashtag me too, dude. Never blame the victims.
Right. So yeah, Amityville Horror didn't happen. It was a story made to sell books, and it fucking worked. That's why it was a hoax. It's one of the first, we'll call it like viral marketing campaigns that worked out really well.
Allegedly.
It did.
All right, fine. Let's move on from that one, because I like to believe that stuff. I like to believe in the paranormal, in the occult.
Well, there's plenty of other stories that actually did happen that I'm sure you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah, but not with pig demons, bro. Not with pig demons.
Yeah, I did hear the book is fucking terrifying, though. I think my mom read it and she had to put it down. She's like, I can't. It's too scary.
Damn, really? I should read it.
Yeah. Is the movie good? It has like a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which one are you looking at? There's multiple. Which year?
The 1979.
They gave it how many stars out of what?
It has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Score. Earned a Saturn Award nomination for Best Actress. And it's considered, even though it received mostly negative reviews, but film scholars consider it a classic in the horror genre.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's surprising, 33%, because that version, that's the OG, if I remember correctly, and I like that one.
Wow.
The Ryan Reynolds one was pretty good too, but that's because Ryan Reynolds is shirtless in it at one point.
Yeah, that's a good draw. So there was a remake of it.
Yeah, it's good to jerk off to.
I bet. Yeah, it's your favorite. So good job. Amityville Horror, fake. All right, what's next?
Whatever. All right. So next, this is gonna be a real short one. Next, but in alphabetical order, Blue Waffle. Just look it up. All right.
Just Google it.
Just Google it. All I'm going to say is it is an STD. Okay, I have to say it's an alleged STD, quote unquote, proven to be a hoax that causes discoloration of female genitalia, aka a vagina, aka a flesh gate. All right.
Yes.
Just Google it. Just Google image it.
Yep. But it's a short and sweet one. But yeah, hoax. It's something fun to send your friends.
I've seen it on a real person before. It's gross. All right.
I doubt that completely.
It's on me.
Yeah. Learned a lot about you today, huh?
I have both. I have a wiener and a vagina.
Ah, wow.
Sometimes I wake up and one's in the other, and I won't say which one's which.
I don't think that works that way. That's like trying to put your twist your dick around to put it in your own butthole. Like,
yeah, tell me about it, brother. How do you think I bruised it?
Ow. Oh God. Now thinking about it hurts.
Ugh. Oh, you ever see that one video of the guy? It's like of course it's like a porn clip. So it's like not safe for work. But have you ever seen that clip of the guy and they're like fucking and his dick snaps?
Yes, I have. And it is painful to watch. This is that old time. Remember when like shock humor was just like the biggest thing on the internet for like a couple years?
I loved it. Like Lemon Party, right? Two Girls, One Cup, all that classic shit.
Oh God. Yeah.
Dude, we watched Two Girls, One Cup at your house for the first time, I think. Wasn't that your first time? Or was it? It was somebody's first time. It was.
Yeah, I think it was me because I was like, I actually never seen it. You're like, oh, buddy, hey.
Hey, this is it's a great little indie film. You're going to love it.
Yeah. Not one of the highlights of my life.
It was pretty gross.
Oh, talking about only the best stuff today. Only the top quality content.
Yeah, so just look up Blue Waffle. All right, that's an alleged hoax out there.
Yeah.
All right. Now we come to something kind of big. Something that I want and I think we should do a full episode on in the near future. Okay.
I agree.
Crop circles.
Yeah, crop circles is widely considered to be one of the biggest fucking hoaxes that a lot of people still don't know are actually hoaxes.
I want you to define widely considered by skeptics like yourself who refuse to believe in anything that might upset their normal day-to-day routine.
I think it's the fact that literally like pranksters already took credit for it and that a lot of it is just copycat. Like, yeah, the original guys, they didn't do all of them. It was just a funny, cool thing that they did. And then a bunch of other people started doing it because, what else do you do in the Midwest and you're bored?
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought up the alleged pranksters. Okay. Because I'm going to be talking a little bit about them, giving some background a little bit, because we are going to do a full episode on this eventually. But for those of you who live underneath rocks, a crop circle is a pattern created in usually corn crops in cornfields, usually geometric patterns, okay, that have been attributed to extraterrestrials in their crafts, like their UFOs that might make this, okay?
Right.
Now let's travel back to 1991. Two men named Doug Bauer and Dave Corley. I think I spelled his name wrong, but I think it's Corley, not Crowley. Corley. Doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? They're a bunch of liars anyway. Doesn't matter. These two men make headlines when they claimed to be the original pranksters behind the crop circles craze when they began doing it in 1978. They said that they would use planks of wood with rope on each end to hold, and that they would step down on the wood to flatten the crops, usually corn crops. And they would use this method to create intricate designs in people's crop fields as a prank. How do you feel about that?
I think it's very artistic of them. I think it's a neat idea.
Artistic or autistic? You be the judge.
Artistic.
Oh.
A lot of autism speak lately, huh?
It's just because all I think about and all I dream about is Christian. So
it's true. Yeah, you have been like neck deep in that for like a week straight. That's got to take a toll on your psyche, at least a little.
It's burdened me up inside, man. I've been having dreams about him. It's weird.
Oh my God. Quest for love and a boyfriend-free girl.
Well, he ended his love quest is over, man. He found a boyfriend-free girl who was just his 80-year-old dementia mother.
Yeah, and his dad passed away too. So that's fucking horrible.
Technically,
it's so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I hate that so much. You see, there's a thing where it's like the actual, cause in like courts they have like the artist sketch of like the perpetrators and shit.
Yeah.
So they had it, except Chris Chan is drawn like how he draws himself.
Yeah. Oh, great. I love it.
Oh boy.
Did you hear
Anyways.
that he stomped his feet in prison or in during the trial? Like he actually like threw a tantrum about something and like stomped his feet.
What? Wait, the trial already happened?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
What?
it's happening right now. It's but in the first day, like a couple days ago, he literally stomped his feet in court.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, that poor guy. I don't even want to say that. He's a fucking asshole, but that he's so far gone. Like I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, and also they want to put him in. Even though he claims to be female, they want to put him in, of course, male populated prison.
Yeah. I can see that. Online creator charged with incest said, "I'm famous on the internet in first court appearance. Court proceedings, Chris Chan interrupts by stomping his feet. You are correct." Jesus Christ. Well, we'll see. You'll hear it straight from us, folks, where this ends up.
Oh my god. All right. Now, okay, back to crop circles. I said that they were intricate designs, right, in crop fields.
Right.
That's the problem I have with this being a hoax. Like I said, it's an intricate design. Okay. Have any of you out there ever seen pictures of these crop circles before? Tasker, have you seen pictures of these crop circles?
You know, I've seen pictures of, but I'm not sure if they were the legitimate ones. So crop circles. What was the year again?
Just any of them. I mean, this is just like a general question. Have you seen any pictures of crop circles?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Do you notice how geometric and how precise and how intricate they are?
Yeah, because they had a fucking, a repeatable process,
Oh, sure. Maybe they did. But did you? Oh, okay. But okay. That though, all these pictures you're seeing are from a bird's eye view and they look perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what, do they have a dude on a helicopter giving them exact measurements above, being like, okay, now go here. Okay, now go here. Like, how do you make something that perfect on the ground? You know what I mean? Look,
have you ever used a fucking protractor before? We have
on a piece of construction paper, not in the middle of a goddamn cornfield. Look, I have a hard time believing that some goddamn rednecks in the middle of nowhere are able to pull this off when they can hardly do basic addition in their heads.
I don't know, man. I think it's a lot more doable. I mean, dude, we built the fucking pyramids. We can make a goddamn crop circle.
First off, that's a weird conclusion to jump to, that we built the pyramids. Okay. That's like really, that was almost unfair of you to say that. After everything that you and I have been through in our friendship and on this podcast, and you have the fucking balls to just come out with a statement like that.
Yeah. It was slaves. That's how we did it. You'd be surprised how much we can accomplish by subjugating millions
Jews
to forced labor.
Literally the least athletic people on earth built the pyramids.
You're implying that it's for somebody, even if they were allegedly non-athletic, that they couldn't become athletic.
All I'm saying is, look, if they weren't athletic now, they weren't athletic a couple thousand years ago. Okay.
I think I think you're running around in circles right here. I think you're beating around the bush. I think we need to do a full episode on this, actually.
We do, because it's frustrating. I don't want people to think that I'm like an anti-Semite. I'm not.
No.
Jews are fine, except for the fact that they're probably reptilian.
No.
All right.
Okay. That's way better than I thought you were going to say. Okay. We'll leave that in.
But they also control the entirety of the media. Which is a fact. It is a fact. Like, if you look at any producer, any executive producer, any president of NBC, anybody, guess what kind of last name they have? It's going to end in an erg, like a berg, or it's going to be like it's just a Jewy name. It's just going to be Jewy. All right.
Look, I don't think. You grew up in California, and in California, there is a lot of Jewish-like last names that are involved in the entertainment industry, but I think that's more centralized in the Hollywood, California area, and more of a result of just opportunities that presented themselves at the time, and it's just happened to be a big Jewish population. But it's just, that doesn't mean they control everything about the media. It's just I think it's a correlation does not equal causation, I think, is a big statement to make here.
Yeah, I know. And I don't want people to think that like I said, I love the Jews are great. All right. I love the curls and I love all that shit. So I'm cool.
Well, how about let's shift it like this? It's not so much Jewish people, it's more of people who are rich and powerful that are the problem. Let's not forget that that's the real issue here.
That is the real issue, but who's usually powerful, man?
There's more than just Jewish people that are rich and powerful. They are not the only rich and powerful people fucking this planet up. Like, you can't for a second claim that.
All right. Look, I'll leave it at that because I don't want people out there thinking that you're anti-Semitic. I'm just trying to cover your tracks. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, so yeah, crop circles. What a fucking leap that was.
I was waiting to talk about Jews until a later entry in here. But it just kind of came up because you had the audacity to talk about pyramids, and I
love that. That's your like first thing you grab towards when you lash out. It's just tracking on Jewish people.
Hey, they've taken it in stride this far. They can take a joke. You know what I mean?
I feel like most people who watch the show could probably take a joke. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me be me.
Yeah, that's a positive environment for us all.
Look, the thing I want to say the most about crop circles is they're just too perfect, in my opinion, to be done by people, especially when you can't see a bird's eye view of what the fuck you're doing in a giant cornfield. Of course, they're not going to come out perfect.
I feel like that's flimsy evidence. I feel
so you're telling me if you had a wooden plank and 2 ropes, you could make a beautifully intricate geometric giant pattern in a crop field that's perfectly aligned.
Yeah. Just put a little stake.
A stake?
Put a rope to it. Yeah.
What does beef have to do with this?
A fucking wooden stake, tie a rope around it and pull it all the way fully lengthwise. And then keep it at that fully length, and then just put your thing on the ground, and then just start walking in that natural circle. Easy, perfect circle, done.
Okay, a nice circle, sure, but they call them crop circles, but the designs are way more intricate than that. It's not just circles. I could do a circle.
Circles and lines. The lines you don't even need. You just have the tool, and you just drag it and connect them. It barely matters. It's a lot more doable than you think, because I am a fucking graduated art major.
You're a digital artist, all right? You hate 3D media. You've always told me. And there's nothing more 3D than fucking crop circles. You shut the fuck up.
I just think we got to give them a little bit more credit. They probably worked really hard on making them come out that good.
Like I said, man, these Hicks don't have the calculations. That's all I'm saying, all right?
It doesn't take calculations, though. That's the problem.
Okay, you're underestimating my power, dude.
Bro, these are guys who build their own sheds. These are guys that they know how tools work. I think they can figure it out.
I turned my mic off on accident. Let's agree to disagree.
Fine. But I think it's, like I said, I think it was just a bunch of kids came up with something real funny. People were like, what the fuck? And then there's just a bunch of copycat stuff. Crop circles aren't indicative of any of that stuff. Plus, why the fuck would an alien make that?
To let us, it means something. These symbols mean something that we aren't ascended enough to understand yet.
I think it's a stretch.
God damn it. Let's move on. Because this is the one that really hurts me was the crop circles.
So you heard it here, folks. Crop circles. Hoax.
Allegedly.
Two
guys from the middle of nowhere took credit for beautifully intricate designs in giant cornfields. But hey, I guess anybody could do anything these days, huh? Wow, how brave.
Oh, ye of little faith in the human spirit.
All right, so let's move on to the next hoax. And this one's kind of a favorite of mine. I like this one a lot. It's the Fiji mermaid.
Oh.
So this is like a fun little sideshow attraction, which claimed to be a real-life mermaid. And there are actually many different versions from different sideshows throughout history. However, the original is probably the most famous. And it's probably the most famous because it was the one that actually P.T. Barnum, the old fucking sideshow and circus man himself, put on display as an attraction.
Yeah, I'm looking at photos of it now, and it's creepy looking.
It's cool, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now, this was in Japan.
Yeah, well, they caught it, and the reason they call it the Fiji mermaid is they actually claim to have caught it off of the coast of the Fiji Islands.
Interesting. Well, tell me more before we get deeper into this.
All right. Well, the original Fiji mermaid was covered in fishy scales. It had some hair on certain parts of his body, some titties, right?
Good.
And it had a nice open mouth with sharp teeth showing. So literally checking all the boxes and what I look for in a lover.
Yeah, exactly. Mouth open, titties out, sharp teeth.
And scales. Don't forget the scales.
That's important. That's very important.
And
dead.
Yeah, and petrified. Yeah.
Gross.
And since then, there have been plenty of other similar looking mermaid like creatures put on display as, sideshow attractions. It just kind of became a commonality at those like weird, like if you go to, for those of you who live in California, you go to Venice Beach, you're going to go on the boardwalk. You'll see like a sideshow freak show type of thing that they have there. And you'll probably, if I remember correctly, it's been years, but I think they have something similar to this mermaid on display there. So it's kind of like a nice, cool sideshow thing,
Yeah, cool stuff.
Now, if you look at pictures of it like Tasker has, if you Google the Fiji mermaid, it's quite obvious that it's fake.
Yeah, it's not that hard to put that together.
Right. And it's clearly made of different animal parts and different modeling materials to put together like this fishy abomination. But it works. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is the guy who makes it is a professional showman. He's all about, fabrication, and that's his job, is to pull you in and do some fancy schmancy, like black and white entertainment.
Yeah. Some might say the greatest showman.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, yes. Well, I did, because it had Hugh Jackman in it. It was awesome.
Hugh Jackman, huh?
Yeah, my man.
Nice.
Now, so as much as I want it to be real, it's not real. All right. I'm straight up ready to admit that this is all an obvious hoax that was just really dope.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, and it's like, but it's nice to have these ones where it's just like, it doesn't take an archaeologist to be like, yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, I'm not saying that mermaids in general aren't real. Some iteration, some form. I'm just saying that these specific like petrified Fiji mermaids are not real, but there could definitely, and we've done an episode on mermaids. I'm saying they are out there probably in some shape or another.
Well, and that's the kind of thing, like, you bring your kids and you're like, oh, like, look, they're real, see? And they're like, oh, fuck. And then, like, when they're like 15 and before, they start having like, actual social circles, you're like, okay, all that was bullshit. Like, don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah. Mom, the fish had tits. All right.
Yeah. How do you fake that?
Okay. Now, the next hoax. This is the one I was saving the Jew talk for, but it's over. I'm not going to do it anymore. All right.
You had your one pass and you used it up.
I used it way hard.
Yep.
So we are going to be talking about the hoax known as the Hitler Diaries. Dear Diary, today I found out that the Jews, they talk about my art behind my back. They say my art is not good, and that's why I didn't get into the art school, right? Because these Jews, these dirty, long-nosed Jews have connections with all the art schools because they run the media, and they said I cannot get into art school. So in my diary, I'm putting that I have a great idea. It's something called concentration camps. It tricks them because they think that they'll be concentrating on something, but really, they won't be.
You would make a great history revisionist.
I mean, that's probably what the Hitler Diaries. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you'd be a good modern day Goebbels, whatever the fuck his name is, master of propaganda.
That's the day I'm compared to a Nazi.
Well, you did it, man. You did it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and a lot of it too was the whole the way Hitler, like his viewpoint. There's even arguments about like Hitler not even really giving a shit about Jewish people. I know we've talked about it before, but it was a means to an end. The people were angry. He found an audience in it because he was just so fucking pissed about because he served in World War I. They lost. Germany was on a collapse. He was fucking pissed off about it, and he started just like in his rage. He's like, fucking Jewish people, and he realized he had a huge audience with it, and he started to seize power.
Yeah, and when people started cheering for that, he's like, yeah, and gypsies, yeah, gypsies suck too. And they're like, what about the gay people? He's like, fuck gay people,
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a whole thing of and I remember having a discussion about this with my girlfriend recently of it's the rewarding of bad habits. It's the fact that you are, especially with a lot of like celebrities or like famous people who might be like problematic and stuff like that. It's like they can have these like outbursts or say these really fucked up things. And that doesn't really, it's kind of a different way. It's more in politics, I would say, but they get rewarded for it. They're getting, they're doing shitty things and they're getting paid now. And so they're just going to keep doing it, whether they believe it or not. And when you're somebody like Hitler, who is just like a power hungry, I want to take over the world type. And, it was just sort of, it was a very horrible, perfect storm. And that's how it went. By the way, forever ago, you said that I'm now safe from becoming a dictator because I'm switching off from art career. Technically, I'm in the whole, there's a documentary called How to Be a Tyrant. And I started watching that, and that was really interesting. And there was like, I'm in that phase still of art not working out for me. So technically, I'm not in the clear yet.
Actually, you're right. I think that I might have been presumptuous because you're in like the worst spot right now. You're in the spot he was at when he's like, what, this art thing isn't working out. Maybe I should go to politics,
I don't think that's going to happen for me, but like I said, I'm just saying, just to kind of, see what's your opinion on that?
My opinion is, well, I didn't have one until now because I didn't think about it, but now I'm a little more scared than I was before because, you're kind of in the position he was in when he decided to be like, you know what? I got to blame somebody for this. So Tasker, who are you going to blame for this?
Let's see.
What's going to be your white whale?
Let's see. Well, and here's the problem is, and I learned this from the Tyrant documentary, is you got to blame somebody who a lot of other people blame. And it's tough because like, when I say it's rich people, it's a bit too blanket. Not a lot of people can get behind it and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the angle here is conservatives or liberals. There's a huge you just gotta. That's why we have so much extreme far left, far right, is because you have to be that extreme in order to pull in. And then it's about getting the moderates to be sort of on your side just enough. And then once you have that control and you have that platform of people listening to you, then you could start making moves and then you could start making grabs for power. But you also need to make sure you have a proper team to cover your ass because, as they say, it's to quote, how was it? Was it fucking not Ice Cube? But one of them is like, I was on the Kendrick Lamar album. Anyone can get it. The hard part is keeping it, motherfucker.
First off, I think it's kind of racist that you didn't know what black guy said that. So everybody thinks Nick's an asshole.
It was Dr. Dre. Okay. I think I remembered.
If I had a nickel for every time I mixed up Dr. Dre with Ice Cube, I'd be broke.
I just said a name because I didn't know.
Jesus Christ. That's some look, man. I know that you guys are trying to gentrify California, but this is going too far.
I was gonna say it's probably not a great case for myself of talking about a whole laid out plan of how to turn conservatives and liberals against each other, as well as making a bit of a racist remark.
Yes. Yeah, which gangbanger said that? I can't remember. Okay, so before we'll move on in a second, but why were you watching a documentary called, what was it, How to Be a Tyrant? What do you got plans? Yeah. Now I'm a little bit more worried.
Well, it's because I've been trying to cut down on drinking, and when you're not drinking, you have a lot of free time, a lot of bored, nothing happening time. And I was like, fuck, I guess I'll watch Netflix. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Sure, buddy. I'm not changing your name in my phone to Fuhrer, no matter how many times you ask me. Okay. I'm not doing it. So stop asking.
All right. That would be, if you ever do, you got to make sure to post proof because that's really funny.
I'm not doing it. No matter how many times.
Right.
Okay, so Hitler Diaries. So this entry is fairly self-explanatory. It is a supposed set of diaries, journals written by Adolf Hitler himself, and not Mein Kampf. Okay, Mein Kampf is a real book. I know, I've read it 10 times.
Yeah, and that's not it's not a
that was a joke.
It's a what?
Just so everybody knows. All right, it was a joke. It went over everybody's head. Yes, I'd have never read that book. Okay.
Imagine it's pretty hard to get too, because it's a manifesto.
I know somebody who used to read it on their bedside.
For the irony, or just because they believed in it?
I don't know.
That's kind of a hard position to be in.
As my roommate. No longer my roommate though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yo, Godspeed.
Anyway, so Adolf Hitler, you guys know good old Addy, right? He's a villain to most, a hero to some, like Tasker. And it is supposed to be a 60-volume collection of personal thoughts and anecdotes and such from Hitler. It's stuff that you would put in your own diary. You know, like the bit that I did at the beginning where he's all mad at the art school. He probably put that in there.
Scribbles, yeah.
In 1983, the diaries were purchased for 9.3 million marks. Okay, that's like 3.7 million USD. By a West German magazine called Stern. They got a historian named Hugh Trevor Roper to take a look at the diaries in order to give an analysis of them. And believe it or not, at first, Roper determined the diaries to be authentic. So for a short period of time, people were like, holy shit, this is like his inside thoughts. This is actually Hitler's diaries, man.
Right.
With this news in hand, Roper, the historian, and the magazine company Stern were going to hold a press conference because, I mean, this was a big deal. Like, if this was real, this was fucking big.
I mean, as evil as a bastard he was, this is still history.
It's still historic as fuck. It's something that, if it was real, my God, it would have changed. Like, I don't know if it wouldn't have changed anything now, but it would have changed the perception of everything.
Yeah, we would have learned a lot more. Yeah. And also I'm sure the movies about him would be a lot more in depth.
Right, exactly. Like we get like spin-offs like Frasier, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like Goebbels, they call it.
Oh, that would not do well.
Okay. However, after more analysis, right before the press conference, Roper and his team determined that the diaries were actually a forgery. And they announced this at the press conference instead. They were like, look, guys, we've been had. This magazine company paid a lot of money for some fake shit. All right.
Yeah.
Now, you might be asking yourself, who has the balls, the time, and the conviction, the dedication to create a 60-volume collection of journals pretending to be Hitler? Besides myself, who has that kind of time, right?
That's a good question.
It was a man named Konrad Kujau. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Kujau. And this is the man who also sold it to Stern magazine in 1983 in the first place. So they got trolled hard by this dude.
Oh yeah, and the dude pulled a couple mil off of it. So
oh hell yeah, like he made out like a bandit.
Right. You want to think? Because I was thinking like, why the fuck would somebody spend so much time? But maybe like it was just his own journal. And maybe he just agreed with Hitler on a lot of stuff, or maybe that was his like, for some weird therapeutic way of dealing with stuff, is he just would pretend to be Hitler and write in a journal just because, I don't know, he just character actor or whatever the fuck. And then I think he had like, you probably been doing that for like years. And it was just like, you know, I could probably sell this. And boy, did he.
Yeah, it was just him projecting and just like pretending to be Hitler. That's awesome. I mean, that's not awesome. It's not good. It's not a good thing.
Not an encouraged behavior, but
it's a clever way to make a lot of money.
Yes, very clever. And it worked. Except,
unfortunately, yes. Except now, it did seem like a bit of fun, like a nice troll, like we do a little trolling, you know,
right?
But Kujau was actually sent to prison for this because he had defrauded a magazine company out of millions of marks. So he got a 4.5-year sentence, which for the amount of marks that he got might be worth it.
I was gonna say, if they let him keep the money, like, bruh, like
he had to give most of it back, unfortunately.
Boo.
Yeah.
Because if he would have gotten away with that, like, damn, like, but yeah, it was a scam. So not good.
So this is all out and out a hoax. There's I'm not denying it. Nothing.
Yeah, that shit. It's not real.
He came out saying it was fake. So, but I mean, hey, that's a good troll.
Yeah, it's a very good troll. I will give him that credit. The level of psyche it takes to make something like that is curious.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, maybe his time in prison helped to change some of that.
I had a hard time impersonating him for that little bit in the beginning, just pretending to be like read his diary. Okay. So imagine 60 volumes of Hitler inside your head that you have to come up with.
Yeah. So I think it was probably for the best. The guy ended up behind bars at some point.
Yes. All right, next up, this one's going to be fun. It's a 2-for-1 cryptid hoax, actually. So we're going to be discussing the jackalope and the skvader.
Skvader.
Now let's begin with the jackalope. This one may be familiar to those of you out there interested in cryptozoology. It is a jackalope. Oh, no, let me redo that.
Great definition. The jackalope. Well, it's a jackalope. Next.
It's a jackalope. What do you expect?
Yeah, and it's funny though too. I feel like the name like jackalope, it's something where it doesn't even sound like a cryptid. It sounds like, you know, if you're like, oh, we saw a couple jackalopes, I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. But
yeah, dude, it's that season. They're out from hibernation, right? Yeah.
Fucking hate it. Yeah, when they jump in the road, man. Fuck them. Yeah. But no, they're not real.
They're not real. And unfortunately, this is also a proven Nick can't argue kind of hoax. But what they are essentially is they're a jackrabbit that has antlers like a deer or an antelope, and that's where you get the name. It's just a portmanteau of those two. It's jackalope.
Yep, just combining two things together. It's just taxidermists having a fun weekend.
Exactly, and that's technically, yes, that's exactly what happened. So all over the world, there are stories and myths of similar creatures that have to do with rabbits. But where did the myth of the jackalope come from in North American folklore? In 1932, two brothers, Douglas Herrick and his younger brother. I don't know the name of his younger brother because I couldn't find it. The main dude is Douglas Herrick. That's who you should know for this because it's called the Douglas variant. That's what they call the jackalope.
Okay.
They went on a hunting trip. And what were they hunting? But jackrabbits. Okay. And they were quite successful. They got some jackrabbits and they brought them back to their taxidermy store because these two brothers were also into taxidermy. Because I imagine where they live at the time in 1932, there's not a lot to do. All right. So you hunt and then you do taxidermy. That's kind of what that's what they did.
I mean, it's also, you know, you want to use the whole body and there's the parts you throw away. Well, hey, there's something else you could do with it now.
Yeah. You could stuff it and sell it, man. People love that shit back
exactly.
then.
Make even more money.
Make money.
Exactly. So taxidermy is kind of a weird thing in concept, but if you really do think about it, it's really getting your money's worth out of the whole animal and really using. Because like you said, you got the meat, you got all the insides, whatever, all that. And then you could just restuff it and sell it and make an extra couple bucks.
Yeah. And you're living by Native American law, right? You're using, I don't know if this is actually Indian law or not, but like you're using all of the parts of the body and you're being respectful to the animal, except for the fact that you're stuffing it and then putting it on display.
Yeah, that's a little bit more on the capitalist side, but yeah, you know, most people would use the fur for like, you know, clothing and stuff like that. But hey, you know what? Whatever.
But with all the jackrabbits that they got hunting, they noticed in their store, their taxidermy warehouse little thingy, that they also had some deer antlers laying around, and they were like, it's kind of like when you look at chocolate and peanut butter and you're like the first dude whoever to combine those two things, you're like, I wonder what this would do. They kind of had the same feeling. They're like, yo, we got those antlers. We got these jackrabbit, like, carcasses. What if we combine them? So for shits and gigs, they did, and they decided to sell it. So they sold their first, what they deemed jackalope for $10 in 1932.
Oh, hold on, let me see how much that $10.
That's like $1 billion now.
Let's see. Wow, that's almost $200 in our money.
Well, there you go, man. Making some sweet cash off of just your imagination.
Yeah, not a bad way to go. It's how art should be, but unfortunately is not.
You sound salty. Don't get like Mein Führer. Stop.
What is it, that one thing where it's like these guys in like a salt mine and they say whenever like you're pissed in a video game to like send it to your friends, it's just like the ground is salt, the ceiling is salt, and to a degree the air is salt.
Reminds me of Overwatch.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Now, remember that I said that creatures like this, like rabbit cryptid type creatures, existed and still exist in cultures all around the world. We get that exact same thing. Well, not exact same thing, but we get something similar in Sweden, right? And there's a creature there of myth known as the skvader. Skvader.
That's fun.
Yeah, sorry, it's a fun way.
Yeah. There's a Swedish streamer I watch. Yeah, he does not sound like that though.
Yeah, like I said on the last episode, man. I just do caricatures. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I never watched PewDiePie. All right, I don't know how they talk.
Not a big fan of the realism, huh?
No, because the real accents aren't funny. Because the real accents aren't the ones that get the giggles. They're like, oh yes, he's obviously Northern European. No, you want the ones that talk like det. Oscar ver. Oh, you want them to sound like that.
I love what is it? There's this video of PewDiePie reacting to somebody made a comic about him where it's like a comic, it's like him like drawn and like there's like this like anime girl who's like, oh, it's the new exchange student, like PewDiePie. Like, can you help me assemble this IKEA furniture? It's oh yeah, of course. And he starts like speaking in Swedish and then it starts assembling itself.
Yeah, dude. See, caricatures. It's funnier than the real thing.
Yeah, that's comedy for you.
So this Skvader, this creature, what has the body of a European hare, which is a rabbit, and the wings and tail of a wood grouse. Okay, and now I looked up a grouse, and it's basically just a type of poultry bird that looks like a combination between a turkey and a chicken. Okay, it's got a big fluffy tail with a bunch of feathers on it. So imagine like a big rabbit with a big feathery tail and wings, like chicken wings.
Okay, so nothing too insane. It'd just be like, oh, that's different.
Well, yeah,
move on with your day.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing too terrifying. Personally, I think the jackalope's a little weirder because it's got antlers, which could be used as weapons, right?
Yeah, true.
But it turns out the Skvader was created again by a taxidermist in 1918. A man named Rudolf Granberg created this creature.
Yeah. So it sounds like it was just like. It sounds like everyone either it's like they probably believed it for like a year, and then everyone's like, eh.
It's kind of
so not as
where they create it, and some people already know off the bat it was created and it's fake, but the legend spreads.
That's how it. Yeah, and I would say the jackalope is definitely a much cooler like the variant because this is just like just combining two birds together, and it's kind of like if you're into birds, it'd be like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but. For everybody, there's not a big like sell value to it. Whereas like the jackalope, like a rabbit with the antlers and stuff, which is like, oh, that's kind of neat looking.
It looks more dangerous,
Yeah, more mythical, supernatural-ish.
So I really like that. Jackalopes are. I know it's fake. Unfortunately, I've come to terms with that, but it is kind of big because when I was a kid, and I used to look up basic cryptid shit. Jackalopes are quite popular, even though it's fake. And I used to see pictures of them all the time, and I thought it was the coolest shit. So it's a little near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, no, it's a cool concept and stuff. And I mean, sad that it's fake, but it's but it's cool. And that's like I think that kind of makes up for, like you said, the legend and the stories kind of precede the actual events.
Precisely, exactly.
Yeah, or supersede. I don't know what the fucking word is. Anyways.
All right, so let's move on to our next hoax. This one's kind of fun, but I do have something to say about this one. We will be talking about the Jacko hoax, okay? Now, before I get into it, most of you out there are thinking it has something to do with Michael Jackson, okay?
Oh, it's not?
It's not. He did it. He 100% did it, okay?
Mystery solved.
So don't worry about that end. Michael Jackson touched those kids, okay?
Not even to put in a legend, huh?
No, I can't. That won't stop me from listening to his music, but he did that shit, okay?
Oh my God.
Jacko, what we're talking about here today, actually refers to a creature allegedly caught near Yale, British Columbia in 1884, quite a long time ago. Now, a Canadian newspaper covered the story and the alleged capture of said creature. And this beast was described as being a gorilla, and it gave the newspaper gave it the name Jacko for the news story. Something I should say about this, though. It was a gorilla, allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But... okay, let's look at it this way. Even before I get into this next part, a gorilla in British Columbia is already fucking weird. That's like some cryptozoological stuff already.
Yeah. So is this like a Sasquatch thing?
It turns into a Sasquatch thing. Okay.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I remember you brought something up like this before. Where you said it was like Sasquatch ended up being a big monkey.
a big monkey, just a big goddamn monkey. All right. Because here's what happened is it was allegedly a gorilla caught in British Columbia. But what happened is cryptozoologists, or whatever they would call it at the time, or way back in the day, enthusiasts, they took it and ran with it as the missing link, right? And the missing link thing turned into a Bigfoot thing. So now when people think about Jacko nowadays, like cryptozoologists, they believe it to have been a Bigfoot captured in British Columbia. But the original newspaper is saying it's a gorilla. Either way, it's weird. Okay. Whatever happened, it's strange. Because first off, gorillas should not be in British Columbia. Also, neither should Bigfoot. You know,
Right,
well, actually,
so
Bigfoot has more of a chance of being in there because it's woodsy.
Right. So let me see. Let me look at a picture of this. I'm not seeing a lot of good photos of this. When did this take place?
1884. So you're probably not going to find any we pretty much have to go off of the word of the news story.
Yeah, not looking good for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know in your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a convenient truth. I don't know. I'm gonna say, well, I don't know. They found something apparently, whether it's Bigfoot or not. I don't know.
Okay, now here's something weird about this story. Now, the news story, I don't know if they describe it as a gorilla. I don't think they do. And do you want to know why? The only reason that this might be an entire hoax is because of the fact that gorillas were thought to be cryptozoological creatures until like 1902.
You did bring that up before, that like people just didn't believe in gorillas.
Yeah. See, and that gives me credence. That gives me some kind of faith that eventually the things that I find to be real will eventually be discovered as real. Because that happened with mountain gorillas. Yeah,
they didn't know they were, and of course nowadays it's kind of just a common. Big giant apes are pretty commonplace, but back then nobody. Well, I'm assuming most people didn't live to tell the tale when they met a gorilla.
Right.
One year it's like we didn't know what they were. Next year we're sniping them in a fucking Cincinnati zoo.
Yeah, and where did you get off, Cincinnati? I still haven't forgiven you guys, and you. God,
it's hard, man. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to let him go.
Just all he was trying to do was save that fucking kid, man.
Yep, Harambe. He shit's been pretty bad since then, you know?
I'm not one to believe in coincidences, but I mean something doesn't add up. All right. Ever since they killed that monkey, something's been going on. Now we have like an 80-year-old in office and he touches kids, So it started with Harambe being shot, and it's ending with us having COVID-19 pandemics allegedly, and also having a pedophile geriatric president.
You just have a lot of nice things to say about Joe Biden lately, huh?
I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. All right.
Yeah, it's hard not to be with the state of things. But like I said before, it's not the fact that the world's getting crazier. I think it's just always been this way. We're just fucking noticing it now.
I think that we need to turn our democracy into the first galactic empire.
Yep. the monkeys with the automatic weapons, right, that you'll be deploying on your enemies.
Yeah.
It's always been, if you're new to Nick's political platform, it involves weaponized apes.
Nothing scarier than chimpanzees with AKs, man. I'm telling you. You saw that meme. You saw it when it goes off. And
it's scary. Yeah. It's scary. It's unpredictable too.
They're little pea brains, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah. First place you'll take over is Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait to get revenge.
Oh my God.
So as far as this one goes, inconclusive. There's not enough information on the news story itself. If they describe it as a big monkey-like thing, I don't know, but it said they described it as gorillas, but gorillas weren't discovered until 25 years later. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on the inconclusive thing. Like, I mean, there's just not enough info to really even say what even happened. We just hear the story. So I'll call it a campfire story and move on.
Fair enough. I'll say inconclusive. Okay. And now we come to probably the most controversial quote unquote hoax on the list. Okay. We will be discussing the surgeon's photograph. And for those who don't know, and if you don't know, again, I'm disappointed in you. It's basically the most famous photo allegedly depicting the Loch Ness Monster ever taken. Okay, it's the one that you see everywhere on the books, on the websites. If you look up Google Images, it's the first one there probably. All right.
Yeah. So how does it feel knowing that one of the most famous pieces of quote unquote evidence that probably is what got a lot of people into cryptozoology to begin with was fake?
Well, it can be categorized as whatever you want it to be categorized as. You can call it fake. People can come out and say that they created. Here's a spoiler, by the way. Somebody named Christian Sperling said that it was a toy submarine he created. Other people come out and said that it was a log, a piece of driftwood in the water. Now here's the least credible part of this whole thing, calling it a hoax, is there's so many. I feel like over the let's see, it's been about 80, 90. Wait, 1934. So this basically was a photo taken in 1934 by a gynecologist named Robert Kenneth Wilson. Okay.
Almost 100 years ago.
Almost 100 years ago, guys. Like 90 years ago, 90-something years. I don't know. I don't do math, right? It's not my thing, not my jam.
Right.
Point of the story is, over this amount of time, this 90-plus years, people have come out from the woodwork saying, oh, I did that. That was like a piece of driftwood that I put in there. Oh, I did that. I built a toy submarine and took a picture of it to get revenge on the Daily Mail. There's a lot of people coming out saying that they did it. That's not very credible. If nobody can agree on who caused the hoax, was it a hoax? Or are they just trying to get their 15 minutes of fame?
I think it's clout chasing. I think the guy came through and said it was fake, and a lot of people were like, it's real because I did it, because they're trying to cash in, like the Hitler diary thing. It's like they're just trying to get some money, 50 minutes of fame. They wanted people to notice them.
Right. So they're coming out saying that, oh, I was the man behind the hoax of the surgeon's photograph. But you know what? Too many cooks in the kitchen, homie. I think that it's real because of the fact that there's so many people saying they hoaxed it.
I don't follow that logic completely, but I understand where you're coming from.
And also, people like to say that it was an otter.
Okay, I don't think it was an otter.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page there. Because you look at that picture, you fucking tell me that looks like an otter. Somebody broke that otter's neck and elongated it then, because it looks not like an otter. Okay.
Yeah, even it's like, oh, it had its like paw out of the water. No, I believe the driftwood, or probably the driftwood more than anything, because it has that natural shape. And, the picture itself is extremely blurry and like not made with great instruments. And I find it interesting that, in modern day, with all this technology we have with like radar and shit, we haven't found it.
Well, because you know what? A creature like that, who has learned from generation to generation to survive without being spotted, probably knows how to avoid such things.
Yeah, I think I completely believe it was just a hoax, and like it's a very famous photo. It's a shame that it had to be this way. But sometimes you just gotta take a look in the mirror and be like, yeah, the surgeon's photo is not real.
All right. Look, I held my tongue.
Yeah.
A little bit of a behind the scenes for you guys. Back in the day, Tasker and I were a part of another podcast. Okay.
Right.
And one of the topics was the Loch Ness Monster. And the premise of this podcast was for us to argue with each other about the validity of such things.
Right.
We did this and we talked about the surgeon's photograph. Tasker did his research on it. I still think it's bullshit. I still think the fact that there's people claiming for it to be driftwood. Dude, I got driftwood in my pants. It don't look like that. All right. It's bullshit. That is a creature. That is a plesiosaur. Have you ever seen a plesiosaur before, Tasker?
I can in like 5 seconds. Plesiosaur. Yeah, no, I'd buy that.
Yeah, that's what's in there. And that's exactly what it looks like in the surgeon's photograph, okay? It doesn't look like an otter. It doesn't look like a piece of wood. It doesn't look like a toy submarine, okay?
See, the problem I have with the surgeon's photo is like the ripples in the water look way too big. So whatever it is looks really, really small. And that's what leads me to think that it's not what we think it is.
I can't trust it. Okay, you're doing like photo analysis as if this was taken with like a phone or something, right? This was a photograph taken in 1934, back when you used to have to pull the lever and it would explode, right? It would like fucking blow up and just take a picture of light or whatever the fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're working with here. So if the perspective seems a little off, it's because the camera used to take this picture was used with caveman fucking technology. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's all we have to work with.
There's a wide margin of error, but not that wide. That's literally, it's just in terms of like sizing. Like the ripples are too big. Like, that's a small object he took a photo of.
Ridiculous. There's no such thing as, there wasn't Photoshop back then. All right, they couldn't change perspectives like that.
That's what I'm saying. They couldn't have changed the perspective. It's old technology. They could only grab photos of what was there. And what I see are ripples. Okay, those do not look like waves. The Loch Ness is supposed to be fucking huge. That looks teeny tiny.
Hey, it's all perspective, man. All right, you're looking at it. You think it looks small. I think it looks big. It's an optical illusion.
It's not. Okay. I'd rather sooner believe it's a really small baby PewDiePiesaurus or whatever the fuck. Like, then it was a giant. I'm looking. There's no fucking way that thing's big. It doesn't add up. It's the ripples. They're too big.
All right. Hey. Sarah, you know what I mean? Like, you think that it's a hoax, and you keep standing by that, and you keep letting down cryptozoologists with your weird ripple analysis. All right, like your fucking like your cybernetic eyes and Blade Runner just like had a fault, right? Meanwhile, I'll stand up for the truth, and I'll tell you that this is real, and if you have a problem with it, you can take it up with my fucking lawyers. All right, I'm tired of arguing this point with people about the goddamn Loch Ness monster.
Hey, tomato, man. And plus, like, if I do recall, one of your arguments against me when I said with radar, I think you mentioned that because it takes place in Scotland, right?
It's in Scotland, yeah. So tell them what let's recreate this for the audience. Why don't you tell them what you think about Scotland and their fucking... Go ahead.
No, see, Scotland, they're fine. They got technology. They're trying to figure things. And my question to you at the time was, if we have radar nowadays, why is it that they can't find it?
And my answer is the fact that the radar in Scotland is just them taking an oar out on the water, just slapping it until they find something. All right? Of course they're not going to find shit.
That's not how it works. They're not as behind in technology as you think. I think it's an elaborate hoax. And I'm not saying that Loch Ness isn't real. I'm saying this one, for the sake of this episode, what we're talking about, I'm saying, though, this particular piece of evidence for it is bull honky.
Bull honky. Those are some brave words, man. First off, that's racist. So you yell at me for using racial slurs, but you can just say whatever you want, huh?
Is that even that much? Is that a honky like what you call white people?
Yeah. Hey, just because we're white doesn't mean what? Hey, look, don't be one of those people. Just because we're white and we've done terrible things doesn't mean that we like to be called also racial slurs, right?
I don't know. I've never been called a white racial slur that ever ruined my day.
Well, hey man, you better get in touch with your white side, dude. You're feeling too Mexican lately, I think.
I guess so.
See, if I called you like something, if I called you like a wetback, right?
Okay, yeah. Not super nice, but
right?
I can take it.
But if I call you a cracker,
I'm like, I don't care.
See, man, I'm not saying that we should be white and proud, right? Because I'm not saying that we should be like Proud Boys or anything. But I'm saying, don't be afraid of your heritage. All right. I mean, okay, maybe be afraid of your heritage if you own slaves, like if your family owns slaves. That's like not good. But don't be.
How about
you didn't choose to be white.
No, I didn't.
But you also don't have to take the abuse.
Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it is a constantly proven right quote over and over again. So just be the best person that you are, do what you got to do. But even if you do all that, cracker's just not that offensive. Okay, if I'm being actively beaten up and called a cracker, okay, maybe I'll find that word might be a little bit more offensive.
That's a hate crime.
Yeah, that would not be fun. Like that would suck. But as it stands, like, somebody came up to me, I don't know, I was like, somebody bumped into me like fucking cracker. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, what the fuck did you call me? Only we can say that. That's what I would tell them.
Oh boy, it's so fun to be mixed race.
I know it's conflicting, isn't it?
But be white passing, because we both have light skin. But like, I know for you, it's your Asian side's a little bit more obvious, whereas for me, a lot of people just do not know I'm Mexican at all. Like, and I'm not saying that as a dig. I mean, like, when you say you're Asian, people are like, I could see it. But when I say I'm Mexican, they think I'm trying to be fucking funny and like get mad at me.
That's messed up, man. That must be a shit life. I'm sorry.
It's weird. Like we said, mixed race. It's a mixed bag.
It's very conflicting to be mixed race because,
it's hard.
What can you get away with? That's what I always think about. It's like, what could I get away with saying? Right?
Very, very, very true. But yeah.
Okay. So, I know that you don't believe the surgeon photograph is real. We just yelled at each other about it. I'm going to still say it's real. I think that it just straight up fucking looks like a plesiosaur neck and head. And that's all that I got to say.
Cool.
And I'm still upset.
Yeah. To be expected.
Okay. Finally, we have one last one. And I don't think Tasker knows that I was going to put it on this list. Okay. But I had to talk about it.
Yeah. No.
So we got one more. All right. We got one more fun one for you. This one, I do believe 100%. It is the fact that Tupac Shakur's death was a hoax. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. What are you? This is a bonus one, huh?
It is, because first off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim. All right. West Side, when we ride, come equipped with game. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
So my boy, Tupac, still alive and kicking. Okay. That much is obvious.
Yeah.
He does come to America often. But
okay.
he permanently resides in Cuba. So that's where we're at as far as like his residence.
Okay.
The reason I say he comes to America often is because on the internet you can find dozens of photos of him like around America. Like there's a picture of him with Beyonce, there's a picture of him at a basketball game. There's a bunch of pictures of him alive from like recent times, okay? I'm not talking like before 1996 when he was shot and killed in Vegas.
Right.
Allegedly.
Is Tupac Shakur really dead? Sorry. It could just be people just look like him.
Here's the problem. He has a very unique aesthetic. He looks very unique. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that he's alive. I think that he's still kicking. I think that he was getting too deep in the gangster rap game and he had to find a way out. So he staged his death. Suge Knight's covering for him because fucking check this out. Okay, check this out. After his alleged death by being shot in 1996, nobody has first off seen his body because he was cremated like pretty much almost immediately. Suge Knight said that the dude who cremated him got paid like under the table like $3 million to do it, allegedly. Suge Knight also said that nobody's seen his body. I think that he's covering for him. I think that they got away with framing his death perfectly, and Tupac is alive and well in Cuba.
Well, okay. So for the sake of argument, let's say you're right. I'd say let's leave the man alone. Let's let him just live his life in peace. If he managed to pull off one of the biggest hoaxes in just fucking ever, I'd say he earned his victory.
Me too. No, I'm not mad at all. I'm hoping it's real. I'm hoping he's still alive and he's just fucking doing something. I know he's doing something because also another point to add on here is how about all that new music that keeps coming out from him? He keeps putting out music, dude. The last time I checked, dead people don't put music out.
Since when did he release anything?
Why don't you find some new bumps, some new tunes, as the kids call them? Let's
see. Tupac discography. The last one to come out was 2006 called Pac's Life.
Huh. That's weird. That's a decade after he allegedly died in Las Vegas.
You know, you do realize people don't just make music to order. Like a lot of the times they record a fuck ton of stuff and then they just use it, you know? I mean, that's what they did with Biggie is they just like took whatever scraps of whatever he was working on and quote unquote finished it, which is they have their performance and then they have bring in other artists to like this one where it's like Loyal to the Game, which is produced by Eminem and it's remixes of unreleased music and stuff. Like that's all a posthumous album is. He's not making it.
I don't know, man. I've listened to some of those songs, some of those albums, and the quality is much better than 1996 quality.
I don't know, man. I see though. I'm not a huge fan of posthumous albums because it doesn't really capture the full artistic spirit of it because they're not alive. They're not there doing it. Like the Biggie ones, it's just became a big opportunity for a bunch of rappers to pretend they're rapping with Biggie to like do him respect. But it's just, I don't know. It feels a little clout chasey to me. I never thought the albums were that great. And I understand it's like, you want to keep selling stuff under their names. And I know the money will support their family and their brand and shit. But like, I don't know. I don't think that he's alive.
Okay. All right. First off, that was insulting. How dare you put Biggie and Tupac in the same fucking playing field? Like we've had this argument all like as friends on and off throughout the years. For some goddamn reason, you are East Coast. Like you're just repping it hard. It's like you don't even care about where you're from, dude. Dude, you and I are from the streets of Compton, bro, and you don't even care about that shit. You support Biggie Smalls, a fat, retarded man from the East Coast who made shit music, shitty raps, couldn't rhyme to save his life. And guess what? It didn't save his life.
Oh my God. Well, the biggest differentiation between the two is they say Biggie had the lyrics, but Pac had the flow. And I agree. Pac is extremely talented. And like the way that guy just speaks and what he has to say is fantastic. But Biggie he's a better storyteller. And that resonates with me. And I find that music to be a lot more compelling. And plus it's just Pac had like a really like hard attitude, whereas Biggie had this really more laid back attitude where it was like, it was still like in your face, but very like there's a mellowness to it. Like, hey man, I just want to smoke weed and chill and pop some like champagne and shit. Whereas like,
and where did that
I don't know. Where to get Tupac? Where to get all of them? Oh my God. There's that whole story is of how they got killed is actually very fascinating. It's about, they were rappers who tried to be more legitimate by bringing in actual gangsters and like, getting really involved in all that shit, and it got them killed.
Yeah.
So yeah, gangs are bad. Okay.
Yeah. Except for when they're cool,
Incorrect. Unless it's our gang, our Discord, which y'all should join and tell us what you think.
Here's the problem, though. I know that you believe that he's not in Cuba. Guess what? I do. All right. And I'm pretty sure he's in Cuba and he visits America often. That's what I'm going to say about this. So my point is Tupac's death is a hoax. And I 100% agree with that. Now, I'm still not going to let it drop that you, sir, Mr. Compton, Mr. West Side, Mr. West Side are fucking just repping Biggie all the time, man. We've argued about this before, and it's frustrating.
Am I a Blood or a Crip?
You're probably a Crip, aren't you?
No, I just because I went to Long Beach for school doesn't make me a Crip. I'm not a gang member. Affiliation doesn't matter. More than half of the listener base of Biggie, Tupac, all these big gangsters are white kids between the ages of 12 and 18. Like, yeah. Nick's showing off all the gang signs he knows.
I'm throwing up my Crip Killer sign at you, son. Go ahead, try something, Biggie Smalls. Let's do this.
Isn't it what a way to bring it? Oh my God! Isn't there also a rumor that Biggie's alive too?
Yeah, but I don't take stock in any of that. That's all bullshit.
Different coast, so you just kind of look the other way, huh?
Yep, exactly. If I don't see it, it ain't real.
There's so many just like conflicting information from that statement alone, but good job. I hope you said your piece.
I did. My piece? You mean my fofo? Make sure all y'all kids don't grow.
Oh my God. Although I will say that's a very fucking hard line, which I do give my thumbs up of approval.
Yeah, man. Oh, so good, dude. I'm going to listen to Pac after this. So when I see him one day, I'll be like, yo, dude, I knew you were alive this whole time. I've been listening to all your music.
He's a ghostwriter now, pun intended.
That's right.
Oh my God.
But that's it. I had to sneak in that Tupac one just to piss you off, but I didn't. And that's it for the hoax episode. I know it was a very energy filled, angry episode, and there's some racial things that were said that may or may not be taken out. So if you hear this, I apologize.
It got a little volatile for a little bit.
But we're all in good fun. If you can't laugh at different demographics, and then it's not funny. I don't know.
I don't know. We all just it's just laughing's good. It adds years onto your life. We should do it hard and do it often.
Yeah, do it like masturbation, and also don't take yourself so goddamn seriously. All right.
Yep, and don't try to twist your dick into your butthole. It doesn't work.
No, you'll snap it.
Yep. Was that a pause because both of us were like, "Yeah, I never did that.
I've never tried putting it up my butt before. What are you talking? Well, I'm not gay.
It's fucking weird, man. Yeah, who would do that?
It's gay.
Take that as you will. Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening. That was hoaxes, and you know what? In terms of hoax, what we've been trying to debunk more than anything, because hoaxes are by definition already debunked, and it is unfortunate that Count Chocula is still considered a hoax. It's something that's considered to be built on false pretenses.
Yeah, people don't take it seriously. People don't take threats seriously, even if just because it doesn't match their reality.
Oh, yeah. And some people have the nerve to say that Count Chocula episode isn't ever going to come out. What?
And how dare you?
Yeah, that is insulting, to say the least. We have put our lives on the line. I've remained unemployed because of this subject. So just Count Chocula episode's coming soon. And to all you naysayers out there, once it comes out, I'll just say we'll be the ones laughing.
Tasker's been blackballed by many companies to get a job at because of Count Chocula. All right, he has hookups everywhere, and as soon as the employers see like mine or Tasker's resume, boom, nope, not getting that job because Count Chocula told him to.
Well, yeah, and also too of with this discussion of me and walking away from art, and how that's a very, very sensitive part of life, and how Count Chocula himself has been trying to be a regular Darth Sidious, like leaning me on the path towards dictatorship.
Yeah, dude, you'd make a really good Darth Sidious.
I don't like to think about it because I don't want to agree with it.
I'm just saying, man. Like maybe you should go in that direction. I'll be your Darth Vader. I'll be the one that enforces your laws and kills the remainder of the Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, you have the lightsaber already. It's got the, what is it like when you swing it makes noise, right? That's so cool. Like, yeah, he smacks his hand against it makes noise. It's real fucking it's real deal. Good shit.
Yeah, man. See, you know what? Count Chocula's out there harming people, and I'm sitting here spending superfluous amounts of money on lightsabers. So
we do it to save you.
But hey, thanks for listening, guys. That was a fun episode. That was a good one to get through. My blood pressure's a little high, but I'll get over it.
It's a good time for sure. I definitely enjoyed it. And if you're listening on iTunes, if you could 5-star, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, rate and review. That would be so fucking fantastic for us, and to spread the word. Spotify, you can click the follow button, get updated. We have new episodes every single Wednesday, and that has not changed. Our Instagram is @CEOTPK. YouTube, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. We don't know how long that's going to last. I think we got one more strike before they take our channel down.
Yeah, it's not lasting long.
Yeah, so enjoy it while we still got it, because I don't know how long that's going to be there. Twitter is @CEOTPK1. Our Facebook is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. You can email us, ceotpk1@gmail.com. Join our Discord, discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. If that is a drag to type into your search bar, just go to our Facebook. We'll have all these links and all that in a nice, handy, simple to click place. If you feel the need to donate, go to ko-fi.com/CEOTPK. That is our coffee page, our own personal tip jar. Only give if you feel the need to. And yeah, we'll gladly accept anything.
Yeah, and we do really appreciate it whenever donations are given. You guys are the reason we're doing this stuff. You guys are the reason that we are saying the nasty things that we say. And, just having you listen is, like I say, a gift in itself.
Yeah, cute, adorable. But like I said, thank you so much. And anyone who's donated, and not everyone always likes to be called out for it and stuff like that. So, we'll respect that. But thank you all for the support. Thank you all for listening. It's just doing the show is just so much fucking fun. It's always a great time, and we're gonna keep on doing it.
Yeah, but with that being said, if you guys do want to be like embarrassed for your donations, there's like when donating on Coffee, you can leave a message, and if you want us to say something on your behalf on the show, please feel free, and we'll gladly call you out.
Yeah, nobody's really taken us up on that yet. So if you feel the need to, say what's on your mind, print your manifesto, which I believe there's like probably a word maximum. So I hope you don't have a whole lot of things you're mad about.
Just say sorry, Mom,
Yeah. Simple, sweet, to the point.
All right, guys. Well, look, whether you think that the surgeon's photograph is a fucking otter or if it's actually what it should be, the Loch Ness Monster, the truth is out there.
It's in the name. It's in the definition. The fact that it's called a hoax means it's not. Or it's like, honey, is everything okay? You barely touched and it's some like shitty, like one of his like Pilk, where it's Pepsi and milk mixed together.
Dude, have you tried Pilk before?
No, why would I?
Out of pure curiosity, I've tried it before. It's actually quite good. And I know it sounds crazy. It tastes like a root beer float, but made of Pepsi. Like a Pepsi
okay,
float.
If you actually putting it that way, I get that. Because what's a root beer float, but like a milk type thing in soda, and people love that shit. I mean, fuck, I've drank it before. It's basically like a cream soda. Oh, god damn it! Did you just make a good case for Pilk?
Pilk is not as bad as it is. Honestly, I'm telling you, man, give it a shot one day. If don't go out of your way to do it, but if you ever find yourself at home with the ingredients, just give it a little shot. It's pretty good.